Okay, hello and welcome to another beautiful video by me. This is obviously a little bit different. I'm filming it on my phone again and I'm outside, so sorry if there's a lot of noise, but I decided I want to do a reading vlog of The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I was hoping to get this out before the show came out because obviously, if you don't know, the Summer I Turned Pretty series is becoming a TV show, or has become a TV show. Season 1 is now on Amazon Prime, and they already got renewed for season 2, so yay. And I'm also not gonna lie to you, I have already watched the first 2 episodes. I know. I was planning on being like, even if I didn't get this video out in time, which I'm clearly not going to, it's already out, but even if I didn't, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like read the book first again before I watch the show. And then I kept seeing people, it came out last night, and I kept seeing people posting about it, and I was like, guys, I really want to watch it. And it was so good. The first 2 episodes, I'm obsessed, and I'm in it. So I'm going to be reading The Summer I Turned Pretty. I think I'm just going to read the first book, because the season 1 is only the first book. So I think I'm going to read the first book, and that's what this video is going to be. So I think I'm just going to pop in every once in a while with some like thoughts and things. There will be spoilers all throughout this. I'm just going to be talking about the book. So yes, but here we go. Oh, I feel like I should also say too that I already have read the Summer I Turned Pretty series. Clearly this is like the old cover and old book. Literally, I don't know if you can tell, but there's like someone put a cup on my book, which is so disgraceful, and like the pages are kind of like yellow. I don't know if you can really tell, but whatever. But I read it, I think literally like way back when. I think it came out like 2011 2009 to 2011 I think is when it came out, but I could be wrong on that. But I think I read it like maybe 2010 was when I started reading it or something like that. I don't really remember how I started reading it. This was obviously my first Jenny Han series because To All the Boys came after this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I think low-key my dad just bought this for me. Like he gets us books for Christmas every year and books randomly, so I think he bought this for me because he was like, oh, I feel like you'll like this, and then I did. And I'm gonna be honest, I did, thinking back on it, when I was like getting excited for like the new season and stuff, I definitely liked the Summer I Turned Pretty series, but I think I liked To All the Boys better when I read it. I think, yeah, I don't know. Well, because I think both first books are beautiful and wonderful and amazing, and like I loved both so much, and I think the third books of both are not my favorites. So I think it was a bit rough for me to pick. I don't know. This was honestly probably one of my first like romance series that I've read when I was little. So kind of crazy. And I will like to say on record, I was Team Conrad when I first read it. So I think I'm probably going to be Team Conrad again, especially because I know everything that happens. But I just never really was Team Jeremiah. I always liked him, but I was always like, they're just besties. They're just bestie boos. And, you know, young me was all over that morally gray, enemies to lovers, he picks on you because he likes you pipeline. That honestly hasn't really changed. So I think I'm definitely going to still like that. But I guess I'll come back to you guys once I start reading. Okay, lol, literally first thing I already like blushed at, not blush, but like little fun like giggle was literally on page 8 when she pulls up to the house and Conrad and Jeremiah see her for the first time. Just like Conrad in general. I see again why I was so obsessed with Conrad. Like, oh my gosh, I don't know, like he smiled at me, and that smile, he just gets in. His smile did it every time. I think he got a few new ones. He said, tapping me on the nose. He knew how self-conscious I was about my freckles, and he still teased me every time. I don't know, something about it. I feel like I'm blushing right now. It's just so cute. And then like you see, I think Jenny did also such a great job about like, you see the difference between her and Conrad's relationship versus her and Jeremiah's relationship, because then right after what I read, then Jeremiah grabbed me next and he almost lifted me into the air, belly buttons all grown up, he crowed. That's just so different. I don't know. Fun. Okay, now I'm on page 65, I just finished that. I don't think I remembered how quickly her and Jeremiah are like, not like they're not like a thing, but like the flirty interactions. Like, um, they just went to the drive-in together, and like she said, like, Jeremiah looked at me and he smiled in this familiar way, and suddenly I had this crazy thought. I thought Jeremiah Fisher wants to kiss me. And like, I guess I just didn't remember that happening so quickly, because like she's had, I mean, I didn't talk about it, but like the pool scene with Conrad, amazing, cute. They nailed it in the show. I also was going to say that they've nailed a lot of things in the show. Of even just the first 2 episodes, I feel like they really did a good job of being like very, very, very similar, but still in a way that it was interesting to watch as a show, even if you didn't know what was happening in the book. But if you read the books and loved the books, you would love it too. But I just didn't realize that like Jeremiah was so in it from the early get-go. I always thought it was like Team Conrad for so long. But anyways, that was just my thought. Okay, a couple just random thoughts that I feel like I have. First, very confused about the ages. Okay, I think Belly said she's 15 in the like main story, because there's like flashbacks in the book, but she's 15, and Conrad is 2 years and a quarter older than her. So great. And then Stephen is 8 months younger than Conrad. And then Jeremiah must be like a year younger. I don't know. So I guess they're all, so it's like she's 15, Jeremiah is 16, Stephen's like, what, like 16, like 2, and then Conrad is 17. I guess it's not that confusing. I just am like, okay, great. Okay, another thing I find interesting is in the book, when Conrad smokes, he's always smoking cigarettes. But then in the TV show, at least the first 2 episodes that I've watched, when he smokes, he's smoking weed, which I think's an interesting choice for them to make. I think it was also the right choice, because I think in 2009 when this book came out, like smoking cigarettes was still like mysterious and like cool, and I think like now it's like not really as much. And I think it makes more sense too, because like obviously the moms smoke weed in it as well, so then it's like less of a big deal, but still a big deal because Conrad is only 17 to be smoking weed. I don't know, I think it was a smart choice, and I think they really killed it with that one. I also wanted to talk about the way Conrad acts in the book is very interesting to me, because I forgot how much he's there. Like, if that makes sense. Like, because you're seeing it through Belly's perspective. So the whole time she's like missing things, but at the same time also she's like overreading into other things. But I think a lot of the times, like, Conrad is always there and always the one that's like gets mad at her for like doing things that like are too grown up for her, or like getting jealous or like whatever. And I think it just like shows like how much he cares, but he doesn't want to say it and doesn't want to do it. But I think you see it a lot more through his actions, especially in the book. I mean, I'm only 2 episodes in, like I said, and I think they've done a fair job of doing it. But like, they're about to go to the bonfire in the book now, and even just him being like upset that she was invited, and like when they get there he's like, don't drink, and she's like, you can't tell me what to do, and he's like, please don't drink, like, and she's like, okay, maybe, like, we'll see. Like, it's just sweet to me that it's like he still cares, and he's still, I don't know, I feel like a lot of times like mysterious bad boys are like mean. I don't think he's never mean to her, at least not yet, but he's not like mean to her. He still cares about her. He just is like, he doesn't meet her standards of what she wishes he was doing, because she's had this major crush on him forever, but he's still like respectful of her and like clearly loves her and cares for her a lot, and does that through his actions, maybe just not through his words, which I think's nice and shows the development that will happen. Okay, just had the bonfire scene, which I just wanted to touch on a little bit because it's very different. First off, I mean, it's like later in the summer. I'm already like 120 pages in the book, which like it's in the first or second episode. But then also like when she meets Cam,
it's like a different, I don't know, it's like different. Like I think they did a better job of doing him in the series because I mean again, I'm only 2 episodes in, but like he seems very like fun and cool and like really likes Belly and like is like nervous around her. And I think it's a nice contrast to Conrad that's like supposed to be older and like more experienced and like he's always like kind of confident around her. I think it was a good to like then give her someone who's like more first, not like first love, but like that vibe, you know what I mean? I saw this before. I saw this before because I think it was in like a trailer or something, but everyone was upset because they switched the lines in the show of who said this. In the book Conrad says these, but then in the show Jeremiah says them, which they're I heard over to Conrad walking so fast I kicked up sand behind me. Hey, I'm gonna get a ride, I said breathlessly. The blonde Red Sox girl looked me up and down. Hello, she said. Conrad said. With who? I pointed at Cam. Him. You're not riding with someone you don't even know, he said flatly. I do know him. He's sexist. He narrowed his eyes. Sex what? Never mind, his name is Ken. He's studying whales, and you don't get to decide who I ride home with. I was just letting you know as a courtesy. I wasn't asking for your permission. I started to walk away, but he grabbed my elbow. I don't care what he's studying. It's not going to happen, he said casually, but his grip was tight. If you want to go, I'll take you. So, like I said, like in the book, like Conrad's saying that, and then in this show, it's Jeremiah. And I think that also changes like my perception of Jeremiah because I feel like not even just in this one instance, but like Jeremiah in the book is just much more like buddy vibes. Like, I mean, they don't really have, they like have, like, all of their like flirty stuff was like Jeremiah was her first kiss and like stuff like that. Like, it's not, it's very feels like it already feels done. It feels like they were just like two kids that grew up together. So it kind of just happens that, like that. And like, they're just friends now. Like, there's none of the, like I don't know, like he doesn't seem to Jeremiah doesn't seem to care as much about like things like that. Like Conrad's jealous and like is upset and like obviously is also trying to like protect her because she's 15 years old and like a stranger or whatever. But like I don't know, like Jeremiah doesn't seem to care and I think that makes more sense then for the progression of his character maybe in like book 3, but I think for right now it doesn't make sense to me that he also has a crush on Belly, if that makes sense. Like I think I can see Conrad having a crush on Belly, but right now I can't see Jeremiah because I don't think through his actions or like his, like it just feels like it's more like he doesn't actually have a crush on her. He's just like, oh, she's here, I'm supposed to kind of have a crush on her, if that makes sense. Okay, interesting. She just had her first date with Cam, which is another thing that I feel like now I'm just like talking about like differences between the first 2 episodes of the series and the book. But I already kind of touched on it, but I think they did a better job of Cam in the show because the date, so the date of her and Cam on the show is basically they go into a drive-in and the boys all show up there and she's really angry at them, tells them to go home. They do, and like Conrad was the one that wanted to go and like spy on her date or whatever. And then her and Cam, they like hold hands, and then like when they get home, they kiss, and it's like great, and she like has a great night or whatever. In the book, she's really nervous about the date, and she remembers when her and Stephen and Jeremiah went to Conrad's date at the drive-in and like spied on his date, and then during the actual date with Cam, sorry, my brother just walked in. On the actual date with Cam, like they don't like do anything, and then like when they're driving home, um, they start talking or whatever, and then they end up kissing. But I think it's like I said, I think Cam just got a lot of substance in the show that I think they make more sense of like the jittery feelings of like holding hands with someone for the first time and like having such a nice like date and like I don't know, like I think it's a bit different in here and I think it's also interesting how they had like Conrad crash the date because I guess technically also in here the first time her and Cam hang out is not at the drive-in, it's at, I mean they meet at the bonfire but then they go to a party together, which is fine, and then Jeremiah and Conrad both go to the party to like check on Belly or whatever, which again is fine, but I'm just like, I think it's better the drive-in being the first. It makes more sense. Also, like, Cam in the show is like more out front with his feelings. Like, he like asked Billy out right away and is like, let's go to the drive-in. Cool, great. But like in this, he's like, they just talk for hours on the phone and like he doesn't want to make a move or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think they made him better in the show. Like more of a contender in my eyes of, if I hadn't read the books, I would be like, you know what? I like Cam Cameron. He's kind of fun. Okay, so I'm on page 238 now, and Jeremiah just told Belly that he likes her as more than a friend. LOL, surprise, Belly is not over Conrad and is just like, oh, Jeremiah. And he's like, you used to like Conrad, don't you? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, why? He's not even nice to you. He doesn't care about you like the way I do and stuff. And she's like, I know, whatever. And then Jeremiah says, Conrad's just gonna like end up hurting you. And anyways, not that that's like, I mean, I guess it's important, but I was just thinking like, that's, I don't know, that's kind of just a fun tidbit into the like feelings, like the foreshadowing of like how Belly will kind of, I don't want to say force the brothers apart because that's really dramatic and it's not her fault, but like because they're both vying for her, that's pitting them against each other, and then it causes this huge rift between the brothers and they kind of lose this special connection they have over the series, which is really sad. And I think that's like a good example of it starting. Like, he is upset that he can't be Conrad, that Conrad gets everything. Okay, sorry. Just finished The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I have some thoughts. So, a couple of things. One, the infinity necklace was not in the first book. Like, I distinctly remember it being in the first book. It was not, but that's wild to me because I like very much remember that. There were some parts that I'm glad they got rid of in the show, or at least it seems like they've gotten rid of in the show. I mean, I've talked about through this video just like some things I'm happy they did differently and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm Team Conrad still. It just makes more sense to me. Her and Jeremiah are just like friends. They just like come off as super friends to me, and I don't know. It also, this book's ends really weirdly with like, it ends with like them going back home, whatever, and then it's like Conrad just calls Belly and is like, I'm at your house, or I'm gonna be at your house, like be ready or whatever, and then she's like, okay, great, which I don't know, is weird to me. And then the plot line of Susanna, Conrad and Jeremiah's mom, having cancer, I think I'm remembering a lot of the plot points of book 2. That's the problem with like trilogies. They all start to blend together. So I think a lot of the things that I thought happened in the first book did not, and I think this book is really short, and I have not read a young adult book in a hot minute, and I think that like contributed to the fact of that this book went so quickly, and then also that like I felt like I was missing so much. Yeah, I don't know. I think I get why younger Julia was not obsessed with The Summer I Turned Pretty, unlike some other people. I still don't think I am. I've been enjoying the show, and I'm excited to watch the rest of the series, and I think they've done some really great improvements and things to the show. And I'll probably end up rereading the whole series, but we'll see. So yeah, thank you for coming on this journey of me rereading the first book in the Summer I Turned Pretty series, The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. And also my first like reading vlog. Like, you guys were there with me.
I don't know how this video is going to turn out. So maybe this is something I will do in the future, or maybe it's really bad and something I will never do again. But I had fun, so thank you, and go watch it on Amazon Prime. I think it's worth it, so go do it. Bye, love you.